Joining us now to talk more about the economy, the Fed's latest decision to pause interest rate hikes, Daniel Tarullo, a former Fed governor who led the central bank's regulatory reforms in the wake of the financial crisis. He's now a professor at Harvard Law School. I hope you weren't teaching a class when Steve Eisman of Neuberger Berman was on, Dan, because if there was a Nobel Prize for central bank, I think he gave you like a Nobel Prize for the work that you did with saving the banking sector after. I mean, it was staggering. How did you get wind of that or
you were
see
the
it?
best bank regulator ever, and there's no clear second.
Well, no, Joe. I don't think the Nobel Committee has much interest in developing a prize in this area.
You know what? They give one in economics, sort of, and I don't know how they do that either. When one person says up, the other person says down, they can both win a prize. I don't know how that works. I'm not getting. I don't have a great feeling after reading some of your comments here, Dan. But I understand what you're saying. One of the points you make is that when Powell talks about the FOMC deciding its next move based on a totality of data, without a working theory of what's driving the economy, they really are flying blind. They can't test a hypothesis against the data. So it's kind of a seat of the pants. Is that what you're saying? It's kind of a seat of the pants?
Yeah, to a considerable extent, Joe. I think it's not just the problem for the Fed. I think for people generally, coming up with a working theory of inflation that has had some durability over the last couple of years has been pretty difficult. But I think in my comment, what I meant to say was the Fed is largely dependent on backward-looking information, which is to say the data that's already come in. And I am a little concerned that they don't seem to have their arms around, especially the question of lags. That is the degree to which the past increases in the federal funds rate have yet to work their way through the real economy, and thus the degree to which there's further tightening already baked in. You know, I thought Chair Powell alluded to the issue yesterday, but only in passing and without a very granular sense of where the lags are yet to come. Things like the need for refinancing of a lot of office commercial real estate, the fact that a lot of corporations bulked up on debt when rates were very low, and maybe now they're going to have to go back out into the markets. So to the degree those things are still to come, there could be considerable tightening of financial conditions that's already baked in. And as I say, I'm a little concerned that the Fed, partly out of necessity, has been too backward looking and doesn't have this sense of, OK, here are the few things that we are expecting, and here's how we're going to test whether those things are happening or not.
And I don't know anyone who envies Chairman Powell's position or the Fed's position, because with what you just described, either policy mistake is just horrific. And trying to get it, not going up enough and letting inflation, stay or increase like we saw in historically, that was just awful. But staying too long, staying tight for too long, and putting the economy into a recession when it didn't need to be, if inflation was already coming down, waiting for the legs, that's not a very good option either. So it's really tough. I think I'd quit.
I don't disagree with that, and I think, as Steve just commented, I think that's why the word carefully, the adverb carefully, was peppered throughout his remarks yesterday. And he emphasized that. I also thought, Joe, that he tried to take a little bit of edge off the dot plot, off the summary of economic projections, by emphasizing first the fact that the SEP is not a collective judgment, much less a projection. It's the individuals all putting in things. What he didn't say, and I would have added this, they had to adjust, right? Because their June projections have obviously turned out to be wrong. And so they needed to make an adjustment. But the fact that they've made that adjustment just between two SEPs means that they may make it again. So I wouldn't put too much stock in what the dot plot is saying about next year. It indicates a general sentiment right now among the FOMC. But just as happened over the last few months, if conditions change in the next few months, I think they'll adjust.
We had a Duke University professor on also just that, and that's the amazing thing. It almost is like the political environment we find ourselves in right now. Both sides are so sure about whether, one side, Roger Ferguson, says at least one more, maybe two, maybe three more hikes. This professor said they should have definitively said yesterday, no more hikes, and we're probably going to cut fairly soon. And he's the gentleman that developed the theory that an inverted yield curve results in a recession. He says it's been right 8 out of 8 times, and that we're just bringing on one that's inflation's bad, Dan, but you know, you don't like putting people out of work. If the Fed's shooting for 1.5 points of increased unemployment, that's no way to do policy either.
Well, that, Joe, I think gets back to the lags question, really, to a considerable extent. You know, if you think, as a couple of members of the FOMC have suggested, that the lags are now pretty short, then you think, well, most of the tightening we've done has already passed through. But if, as I tend to believe, and as I think others do, that there is significant impact yet to come, then that prospect that you just mentioned becomes more real. And you know, I just, again, people know this, but just to emphasize, employment numbers in particular are themselves a lagging indicator of where the economy is. So I think, difficult as it is, the Fed's needs to be a little bit more forward-looking, and I would hope a little bit more explicit on some of these questions that, you know, can't be definitively answered, but at least give us some sense of what their real reaction function is. Because I don't think a reaction function that says we're going to make a decision based on the data we get before the next meeting is especially helpful to markets.
Nobody's got a crystal ball either, and you really, you know, if the onus is on forecasting what. I don't know, can you use any of the leading indicators instead of the lagging indicators? Are any of those 100% accurate as far as looking ahead?
No, there's no 100%. And I agree with what you said a few minutes ago, that this is not an easy call. And I think the chair is Chair Powell is in a particularly difficult position. And there's a moment to note that he has kept the committee together. Really in quite an impressive fashion, given what we know are the difference of views. And sometimes I think what happens is, in the effort to keep the committee together in terms of its voting, the message that gets collectively sent sometimes is not entirely clear, you know, because you've had a compromise. And June, you know, the hawkish pause in June was the best indication of that. If you just looked at it on its face, you might have said, wait, what are they doing exactly? But when you understood that this was a compromise between those who already thought that the FOMC had gone far enough and those who thought that more hikes were needed, then you sort of see the logic of it. And, you know, as an institutional matter, as I say, I think he's really done quite an impressive job of keeping the committee together. Now, whether on substance they're where they should be is, you know, a different story.